Alright, welcome back, guys. You beautiful souls. This is James, also known as the Oni Zurg. This is a return to a series that had a lot of love in it, and I'm finally getting around to getting a good recording of this and doing this. A return to what if Deku gained a leveling system. So that being said, at the end of the video, I'm going to ask a few questions, and I much would love some comments in the comment section down below about a poll. So that being said, where we last left off this story, Izuku and Ibara had returned home via Torii Gate at the shrine that Ibara had taken Izuku like many months to them ago, but only like a few weeks in the mortal realm. So they had said their goodbyes and went on their different ways at the train station. So we cut to the first day of the UA. And Izuku is isn't kind of nervous and looking around and everything, and he finds the door to Class 1A, and right before he enters, he hears like a familiar voice coming from inside the class, and he's like, oh my god, he actually got in. And so he looks at the door and he's like, yeah, and that's a pretty big door. So he walks in, and Katsuki Bakugo is doing the same thing that he does in canon with Ida. And Ida, being Ida, is like, you would dare threaten another student? Are you sure you're in the right place? And at this, Ida sees Izuku and starts walking up to him, but before he can get to him, Ibara had stood up and came and greeted him, and they greet each other, and then Ida arrives a couple of seconds later, and Izuku is Ida starts to go in canon, but Izuku's like, yeah, I kind of heard it, and he looks over at Katsuki, and he's like, what are you? And Katsuki's noticeably angered by this, and then Izuku's like, well, I think we should sit down. The teacher should be here any soon. And then Aizawa gets up and says, It took you a whole minute to quiet down and get settled in. And if you're here to make friends, then you should leave. You're here to become heroes, not to make friends. And this kind of agitates Izuku a little bit, but he's like, hey, whatever. And Aizawa goes into his normal rant about they're not going to be going to the commencement ceremony, and that they're going to be doing a Quirk assessment test. And everyone's like, and so he's like, go to the gym and get switched over into these, tossing one of the outfits to class. So they do, and in the guys' locker room, they are Izuku goes and starts taking off his clothes to his school uniform to switch into the PE uniform. One moment. Sorry about that. I had to get something to drink. My mouth was kind of drying up. So, getting back to the story, Izuku is taking off his clothes, and Kirishima kind of comes up to him, and he's like, yo, man, you're kind of jacked. And Izuku's like, oh, really? I actually think I'm kind of small. And Kirishima's like, nah, man, like, that's kind of manly. Like, you kind of make the rest of us look weak. And Izuku's like, no, I'm pretty sure you guys are a lot stronger than I am. And so, like, they finish getting ready, and Katsuki's like kind of seeing this, and he's like, what did he do? Like, he got on the UA, so he obviously like passed the entrance exam. Damn nerd, I'm gonna kill him. And so they go out, and just like in canon, Aizawa like explains that for their whole lives that they've taken physicals, yes, and everyone says yes. Well, you guys have never been able to use your quirks in these physical exams, and the government is still trying to act like everyone's born equal, in not letting those who are special excel. But very soon the government will realize like their mistakes, their flaw in their logic about this. And he's like, Izuku Midoriya, come here. And he basically explains that what he asks Izuku's like, what was the highest that you got in a ball throw in your physical exam? And Izuku says, well, it was about 65 meters and everything. And Izuku, like, he tells Izuku to throw it and use like his quirk. And everyone's like, we get to use our quirks? This is going to be so fun. And I was always like, oh, you think this is fun? Well, how about this? The person who comes last in this test is going to get expelled. And this rubs Izuku a little bit more. Because Izuku's thinking, is like, how can a teacher be like this? No one has a useless quirk. If they train properly, they can become, like, amazing. And Izuku's like, whatever. I've got to do this. So Izuku, he starts to cock his arm back and everything, and he throws it, and he only gets 250 meters. And Aizawa asking, is like, why didn't you go all out? Like, if you're gonna half-ass things, then you might as well just leave now. And then Izuku says, well, if I use my full strength, it can be kind of dangerous. I may hurt the people around me. And Aizawa's like, what do you mean? And he's like, hold on a moment. Ibarra-chan, can you help me out a little bit with this? And as she looks at Izu, she's like, what's up, Izu? And he walks up to her and whispers in her ear, and she's like, really? And he whispers back, he's like, well, if I go all out, I definitely hurt I could possibly rupture their eardrums, people's eardrums and stuff. And Momo kind of overhears this and says, what do you mean rupture people's eardrums? And everyone's kind of like, wait, what? Thinking, and Izuku asks her, yeah, if I do throw it with my full strength, I could possibly rupture everyone's eardrums. That's within 100 meters of me. And everyone thinks he's joking, and then Momo's like, would earmuffs help out any chance? And Izuku's like, yeah, they would help out, but they would have to be able to cancel out sound really well. And so Momo kind of shows off her quirk to everyone, like her creation quirk to everyone, and produces earmuffs to everyone around. And Bakugo's like, I don't need these dang things. This stupid nerd isn't that strong. And because Katsuki doesn't know that Izuku had awakened, was that strong. He knew Izuku had a quirk because he kind of showed it off a little bit during the last day of middle school. And so Izuku is noticeably frustrated about this, and he's like, well, if you're dumb, he's thinking inside, well, if you want to be dumb, so be it. And so Izuku cocks back his hand one more time, and then electricity starts surrounding his arm, and everyone's like, what is he gonna do? And then as I was noticing this, and he's like, oh shit, did I just make a mistake? And right before Izuku releases the ball, Aizawa cancels his quirk, and then Izuku turns around and he's like, wait, you're a Razorhead. And Yuri says you've been classified as quirkless. And you've recently awakened your quirk, correct? And Izuku's like, yeah, but... And he's like, are you sure you're not... don't hurt yourself in this. Try again. And Izuku turns to Aizawa and he's like, I could have handled it. I wasn't going to go, to the point where I would break my arm or anything, And Izuku, cocks back his arm again, and electricity starts flowing around his body and his arm more. And when he releases, it creates a sonic boom within this immediate vicinity. And Katsuki basically loses his hearing because his eardrums get partially ruptured, and Katsuki's just standing there in freaking pain, and he's like, that fucking nerd, I'm gonna kill his ass. How did he get so damn strong? Because, and this, Katsuki is not stupid. He does realize Izuku has power, and he's just extremely pissed off that Izuku hid this from him and everything, and just being the normal asshole that he is at in the first couple of seasons of the anime and in the first several chapters of the manga. So then Izuku kind of walks up to him, and he's he looks at Katsuki and he's like, I told you. And then everyone just sees his hands start glowing. And then Izuku says healing palm, and puts a little oomph into it and strikes Katsuki in the chest. And Aizawa's like, what are you doing? Attacking another student? And then attacking another student is ground for expulsion. And Izuku's like, I wasn't attacking him. I was healing his hearing. And Katsuki's like, you damn nerd. I didn't need you to heal me. And everyone's kind of shocked at this. Even Abara's a little confused, and she looks at Izuku, and Izuku gives her the look like, I'll explain later. Because Abara's like, whoa, he must have learned a few new tricks. Unbeknownst to her, he had already known this. Like, because she thought he could only heal, like, minor wounds, and this is kind of like a major one because Katsuki's right ear was, like, kind of bleeding a little bit. And before this, Izuku did show off, like, his healing palm, but it was only on, like, a sprain. And so Ibarra is like, whoa, that technique must be a lot stronger than what I initially thought it was. Is what her thinking is. And everyone is kind of looking at Izuku. It's like, holy shit, this dude's strong. And Shoto kind of like, instead of being like, oh, whatever, kind of like takes notice of this dude. Because Aizawa turns the palm around and it reads 1,300 meters. And everyone is just like, what the actual fuck? So we continue through the test and everything, and Izuku's like, he gets better placement than what he is. And at the end, like, everyone is doing the test. In the long jump, he ups the one for all in his feet and everything, and he jumps, and he places, I'm gonna say he places third in this one because he didn't want to like overdo it, because Izuku's still thinking after the comments Katsuki said about like when he threw the ball. He's like, man, if I don't let him beat me on at least something, he'll probably like go postal. Because Izuku still, like, he thinks of Katsuki as someone that just needs to calm down, and he doesn't necessarily dislike Katsuki, he just hates how he's been behaving and like the attitude he has towards other people. But he knows Katsuki is underneath all of that assholishness and everything. He is a genuinely nice person, but he can be a dick. Because he, like, when he touched Katsuki, his empath thing kind of activated. Like, subconsciously, because he was looking Katsuki dead in the eye when he struck his chest. So, he didn't have a lot of time to, like, do it, but he did, like, gaze that Katsuki's just kind of mad that Izuku didn't like share that his quirk awakened, and he's kind of been thinking that maybe I shouldn't have been picking on him like all this time. So Katsuki has changed. He is going to be a little bit less of an asshole than what he was in canon to like everyone. He's going to be more tsundere-like than like an asshole. So they continue through all the different tasks, and the running test Izuku places first because he has mastered One for All to a certain point where he can boost himself to where he can run a little bit faster than Ida in the short distance that they have. So he is faster than Ida, like by a long shot, but in the short distance that he has, he's kind of like used a lot of his stamina up until this point with the long jump, healing of Katsuki because that was like a major wound, and with the ball throw because he kind of overdid it a little bit, and at the last moment to stop him from like basically killing someone from the pressure, he basically like held back at the last moment, but it was already too late from like it took a lot of stamina drain to like hold back his strength as much as he did, because he was going a little bit overboard. So we come to the end of like the assessment test, and he looks over at Dinky, and he says, "Kaminari, you're expelled." And at this was when Izuku pipes up, and he's like, "Sensei, that's not really fair. I didn't awaken my quirk until like a few years ago, and I've only gotten this strong through intense training. Anyone, even the nasal laver guy over there, like if he had the proper training, their quirks could be used at a pro level. And aren't we here to learn how to control our quirks and to become the best heroes that we possibly can? And if you expel someone on the first day, like, that would just ruin the chances of them getting better." And Aizawa kind of smiles at Izuku, and he's like, "Ha, I was right about you, kid. That was just a joke. But, Kaminari, take this. You almost tasted death today. And if I don't see any improvement from you, you're gonna be out of here." And like everyone like goes to like, and he's like, "Go change back into like your uniforms, and on your way to the class, grab a syllabus, and you have the rest of the day off." And on their way to the locker room to get changed and everything, Kaminari kind of like walks up to him and is like, "Dude, thank you about that. I thought I was gonna be gone." And Izuku kind of places his hand on Kaminari's shoulder, and he's like, "No problem, man. Like, I was where you were. I didn't have like great control over my quirk when it first awakened, and I did hurt myself a couple of times, but I know you can do it, man. Like, you could probably become a better hero than I possibly could." And Kaminari is like, "Whoa, is this guy joking?" And Kaminari is like, Dinky is kind of thanks him again. And is like, "Well, in any case, thank you, man, for back there. I really thought I was gonna be gone." And then he's says to him like in a very stern manner, is like, "Yeah, but like what the teacher said is correct. If you don't show any improvement, I don't think I'm gonna be able to talk him out of expelling you again." And on their way out, Izuku meets up with Ibara, and Ida walks up to him and everything, and he's like, "So, like, you two know each other? I'm guessing you two know each other from basically how you guys interacted in the entrance exam and like today." And at this point, Uraka comes running up behind them, and she introduces herself and everything, and Ina's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, you're the Infinity Girl." Because Uraka still gets Infinity. She still places first in that. And then Ochako, she introduces herself and completely, and Izuku says, "Yeah, well, me and Abara have really only known each other for..." And Izuku stops, and Ida's like, "What is it?" And he's like, "Well, it's kind of weird. It feels like we've known each other for over a year now, but we've only known each other for a couple of months. Like, we met each other... What was it, Ibarra?" And Ida's like, "Wait, you guys are on first name basis?" And Ibarra pipes up, "Yeah, like, me and Izuku met each other, like, a month ago? Month and a half ago? It was on a camp, like, my family was, like, Ibarra was like, my family's on a camping trip. I kind of got separated from them, and Izuku was camping out as well, and he kind of saved me. And Izuku is like, "Gosh, Ibarra, like, you didn't have to say that. It wasn't nothing. Anyone who could help in that situation would have helped, right?" Excuse me. And that's where, and Ibarra's like, "Yeah, but you still saved me. Probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you." So I'm coming up on 27 minutes, so I'm going to end this part here, and I will go over the heroes versus villains in the next episode, and I think that video is going to be 35 to 40 minutes because of the few things I want to go over in the next part before we get into the USJ arc. And I'm going to have one episode in between the USJ and that. No, I won't do that. I'll do that episode after the USJ. So one moment. Alright, as you can see, like here, this is where I got this photo of Izuku. It was like the best one that I could find. And as far as I can tell, this person down here is the original artist. You can look him up on Reddit and everything. Because I couldn't find a watermark, and the reason why this episode took so long to get out was because I really wanted to use this photo in this series, because this is kind of like what Izuku's hero costume is sort of going to look like. Except he's not going to, like, be wearing sandals. He's going to be wearing, more full covered shoes. But they're going to be, like, he's not going to have, like, soles. Like, he's going to be, like, he's not going to have, like, the gloves that's in this photo. He's going to have, like, a, more of, like, a Shaolin monk mixed with his canon hero suit. So he's not going to have, like, the armings or, like, the footwear that he has here. So that's where I'm getting this photo that I'm going to be using from. And and everyone's probably thinking, it's like, what about Mineta? Well, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in a previous part, but Mineta's bitch ass is going to Class 1B. And he's going to get a pounding from Gendo, and his his pervy butt's going, like in other ones, is going to be, it is going to change because of the influence of Kendo and Tetsu Tetsu. So that being said, thank you guys all for the likes and the comments and previous videos and the words of encouragement. And if you haven't already done so, please like and comment down below in this video, and I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.